Hey there, Internet. Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars with Keeve YouTube channel. In this video, I found a cheaper Amazon alternative to Swisstrax. Now, actually, Swisstrax is available on Amazon as well. Now, Swisstrax is $8.50 a tile. The HotSystem is $3.75 a tile. So that's more than half off the price. The only problem is with the HotSystem, it didn't come with, there's no ramps or accessories, which is kind of tough when you have a 3/4 inch tall tile. When you pull into the garage, you could probably hit it and push it without having that ramp. Well, I found out that the Swisstrax ramps click in to the HotSystem, which just makes it the deal right there. That makes it worth it. Now, the Swisstrax is definitely heavier feeling. The ribs are thicker. I don't know if it's a different plastic, but I definitely think this could take more abuse. But I figured that was enough savings to go ahead and buy enough to do this 450 square foot garage up here. We just completely redid, painted the walls, did all the trim, redid the roof. And I didn't want to spend epoxy money, and I didn't want to spend Swisstrax money because it would have been $2,500 or more to do a Swisstrax up here. And it was about $1,100 for what I bought. We'll also put these to the test in a video. Obviously, when we're done installing them, we'll bring both cars in, see the sounds, the creaks, the cracks. If there's anything going on when the cars pull onto the surface, I'll also pull out a jack, lift up one end of the car to see if it indents into the tile. I know the Swisstrax doesn't. We'll see how it handles that, if it's creaking, it's cracking, see how it lays. The garage is not dead complete flat. There are little undulations, especially when rainwater drains off. I get little puddles in the garage. You have the slats that allow you to evaporate the water still, so you don't have mold issues. Also, it hides the dirt. You're always basically walking on kind of a clean surface because not much sticks to this. These are very smooth, curved tiles. If it gets too dirty underneath, you can just blow it out. It's got channels so it can drain. I just prefer it. So don't forget to check out the links in the description below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to installing. So these are the ladies that are going to be occupying this dance floor. This is Helen. This is my wife's BMW 440. BBS CIRs in satin black with the satin Roaring Thunder wrap. And this is my pride and joy. This is Heidi. Heidi is modified to the moon for a 335. It has everything in the engine bay, pure turbos, every tune you can think of. We have the CIRs on this one as well. A full suspension, exhaust, changed out the lights. Interior is pretty much unchanged other than a CarPlay retrofit. Now I got the cars in the garage, we got to move all this crap out of here. And yes, that's a lot of Coke Zero. And no, those are not leaks from my BMW. I used to have a Land Rover and those leak way more than a BMW does. And that's what all those stains are from. Here's the new lights for the garage, and they look really good with the clear see-through glass, open bottom. 5K 100-watt decorative lights as well. I think it's gonna look really good. Don't tell Matt from OG that I have a Giraffe Tools up here in the corner. They're not permanent. When you sell your house, if you don't want to sell the Swisstrax with the house, you can take them with you. Or if you're renting, you can just take them with you. It's a good way to upgrade a garage of a house that you're renting without actually permanently changing anything. So I decided with the edge of the garage, what I want to do is I want to run these ramps like right at the front, dead level at the front of the frame here, the garage door. Run dead straight across. Now ignore the bow in the garage here. Somebody hit it backing out. Wasn't me, so you can guess there. Put in this temporary stuff from Home Depot to kind of shore it up because it wouldn't open or close. It was sagging too much, but we're gonna replace this door next year. That's our plan. So I decided to go with the smooth side here and the smooth side this way up against this wall. And by having the smooth side here and having the clicks here, the clicks are gonna snap in from the top, so I can easily pull them off row by row. So I don't quite know yet if this is gonna line up perfectly, but Now you will notice if there is a sloped incline here at the garage, that there is going to be like this, but over time that will wear down. You can actually heat this up a little bit and just slightly, you know, it'll bend, but I'm just gonna let it do it naturally. So you see the way it's laid out, we will have to do some cutting because I don't want to cut 16 tiles up against this wall to get this to fit perfectly this way. And I don't want the ramp to go any further out. And you can't cut this side because then the ramp will be able to attach to the tile. So we basically have to make a decision here. We're flat against the wall. We'll have to cut 2 tiles here and the ramp. Hopefully the tiles fit perfectly that way. We don't have to cut much or this way. So when I mentioned earlier about ease of install with choosing the right side, this is why. Because this wall, as I start on this wall, I mean, you could do it the opposite way if you start from that wall. This allows me to lay the tile on top and snap it in. If I was to have laid it the opposite direction, I would have to have lifted each row to lay these underneath. So by having it this way, I just come over, I just snap the tiles with my feet, and we're set to go. The reason I'm not cutting yet is because I want to get the base of what I'm thinking is going to happen done first. So I kind of know what I need to cut around because this is kind of like a moving membrane. Once you have it locked into place, it's not going to move too much. So we laid out the tiles all the way across the garage this way, like we did against that wall. I forgot to record it. I did have to steal 1 ramp. I had enough extra ramps from the initial install from the downstairs garage. I was missing 1. So I stole 1 from downstairs in an area that you can't even tell. I'll have to buy probably another pack, but we lined that ramp up like we did over there here. And the door is a little wavy, so once we get a new door, it'll look better. But with the wavy door, this is the best I can do. Keeps the ramp just inside, right on the portion right here that kind of absorbs it and kind of forms to it. And as you can see over here, we're definitely have to cut there, and we're gonna have to cut against the step. And I already checked, we're kind of gonna need to cut a strip like that big to fill in the edge on this side. So we are gonna have to cut up against that wall and this wall. It's kind of hard to avoid cutting when your garage isn't the perfect size for these tiles. So the best thing to do is just think if this garage is 21 by 21, is to say that it's 22 by 22 and go off of that square footage. So you'll know exactly what you need and then just round up to the size of the box. If it needs 7 1/4 boxes, just order 8 boxes. So this is my dilemma. You see how when this got hit, when somebody backed into it, it bent this out and bowed it, lost all of its structural integrity. So you see how it lays on the harder part of the ramp. When I want it to hit kind of like halfway down the ramp to where the garage door from the outside doesn't look like there's Swisstrax on the inside. They don't protrude out, but it also does a nice seal up against the ramp at the same time. You see that? But I can just, now it went out too far. It's just, I can't wait till I get a new garage door because this one just really pisses me off. Just enough, not too much. There we go. That's kind of what we're looking for. Knowing where the ramps are going to go, that's the big deal. Setting your first edge so that way all of your tiles are just going to snap on from this point. You can get the main form all done, and then when you get to the areas that you need to cut, you're going to have a little extra in the end, detail work-wise to do. But man, it's worth it in the end, really is. So I'm just going to start filling in all of this, and then we'll start getting to where we're going to cut those edges. One section of the garage done. As you can see, the way we can stack it, we can work this way, we can just slowly work our way out. We don't have to stick to a row. We just need to get it all filled in. Well, we got the main part done, as you can see. And what I like about these is they are slightly different design than Swisstrax. These have those extra lines I showed. So if you really look at it, you can see these diamond patterns, these X patterns, the checker. So you see all kinds of cool stuff. They went together amazing. Now the funny thing is I thought I had a box extra. That's all I have extra for the main area. One box for the edges. 16, 16, plus that corner, and plus that corner. 37 tiles of cuts. That leaves me with 5 tiles left over. That's a really good efficient cost right there. So I obviously cut one first to see how it looks. Now, like I said, this is not square. So every single one of these tiles I have to cut and measure individually. Not really measure, I'm just kind of using a template. Little tools as possible, just using 2 tiles, one that I'm gonna cut and one for my straight line. Permanent marker, I literally have like a 15-year-old Ryobi circular saw. The old blue ones, I mean, old school. But the new batteries work on them. So, I mean, Ryobi tools last if you take care of them. You see right here, that's the way it's gonna be, but that's the side I'm cutting. So now what I do is I turn it around on the opposite side. So that way when I cut it here, I'll be able to turn around, it'll snap, and then I'll have these tabs here to keep the other ones from snap. So I go up against the wall, I pull back just a little bit to give me some leeway. Then I line this up like it's with the tiles. And I do that. Now it's time to cut. So we don't need a table saw, we don't need sawhorses, we don't need anything. Just a stack of tiles. Probably not the best blade in the world. We need more teeth, so less chance of us ripping any of these plastic tabs off. That's why you have to go slower. You're gonna have melted plastic that you're gonna have to kind of peel off in the end. See, that's what I'm talking about, these little plastic pieces. You can use like a Dremel sander, but you can just really just come back after it's kind of hardened and they'll just kind of rip off. And outside's better for this, obviously, but it's hot outside. Stay in the shade. Snap that in. It bows like a ½ inch from this point to this point. So it's kind of hard to make it perfect. Well, here's the last piece. I kind of zoned out when it came to cutting all the pieces that I need. I showed you that little bit in the front, but I did the whole side. I actually worked around a lot of the pieces that were cut off on this side. I could use on the other side. So I actually saved a few tiles. I'll go over that. We'll show you everything. This is the last piece. Well, we got one car into the garage. As you can see over here, there's this little area, this ramp. You can't really put anything in there because it's like a really bad slant where they cut out to ramp that concrete. You see how tight it got right here? But these are leftover pieces that I got from the cuts over there. See this area over here? This came out really good. And the ramps, they stayed pretty close to the concrete. The sun had been beating on them all day, warming them up and allowing them to conform a little bit. Now here's the graveyard of parts. Now if you were to do another project with this type of tile, you could save these and use these again for your small pieces. But when I cut off here, these pieces left over didn't match what I needed for the other side. So I had to use full pieces to cut out these little bitty strips. So now I have all of this. I'm probably gonna throw it in one box and I'm just gonna keep it around for a while just in case I need it. 8 full pieces left over. That's pretty good. I thought I was gonna have 5, I had 8. That gives us pieces to replace any of these if anything happens. I think we ordered just dead perfect. We couldn't have ordered any more or less boxes. I guess here's our moment of truth with the jack. See if we can hear any creaking or cracking. And we are fully off the ground on the back, the entire rear end. I really don't see much bend. Let's bring it back down. I don't see any visible dents from the jack. I didn't hear any clicks, clacks, or anything. There we go. Finally broke it right there. Now that was a Swisstrax. This is the Amazon special. Oh yeah. So we definitely don't have the durability of a Swisstrax. So if you're looking to beat it with a hammer, I don't think this is a good idea. Well, there we go. As you can see, I am wore out. I got drywall and insulation all over me, but the garage is done. We've got the lights in as well. I think the lights are amazing with the lighting. And what's missing here? How about a couple of cars? And there you go. Heidi and Helen now have a new dance floor in their garage, new lighting. I think they're very happy. They can be divas at times. 441 square foot is this garage. $1,123. We had 8 pieces left. I don't think we could have gone any better when it comes to scrap. The garage just didn't work out. We had to cut all on one wall and on the back wall. And since one was on the back wall and the side wall, those tiles didn't match up after I made the cuts to be able to use part of those pieces later on. Some of the ones from the back of the wall we were able to use over here, which is great. Downstairs, 300 square feet cost me $1,600, but the ramps that I had left over worked perfect. So I have all the ramps here. I think for the way the garage is set up, it's pretty good. We're a little bit off here and there, but that's because it's just not squared. The one wall is straight, that's the load bearing wall, but the framed walls, they're kind of sketchy. So I highly recommend these, especially for a garage setting like this. You're parking your cars on it. You know, especially for you, those of you guys with long winters with a lot of snow melt. Snow melts underneath here can kind of help drain out the garage. The winter's over with, pull them up, blow out all the salt, clean it up. I think it just works out perfect. Now, if you're an auto mechanic and you want to put lifts and you're going to do a lot of jacking of the cars, I don't quite know how this would hold up to that. But it holds the cars no problem. It lays down great. It clicks great. It works with the Swisstrax ramps, which is even better. So that being said, don't check out the links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. In this video, I hate recording up here. Echo chamber. You hear it? Woohoo! Why am I? Turn on. The garage, and we got some. Whoa! But I've decided to go with. I'm telling you, man, I hate recording up here. I don't really know how these would hold up to that. You stupid! Give me my light back. 441 square feet. There you go. I don't. So there you go. Don't. Stupid bird. Comes another car. Stupid bird. Is there a car alarm going off? So that being said, don't forget to. So that being said, don't forget. So there you go. Don't forget to link. Here comes a car. I hate recording up here, man. Jeez. All right.